You live on a world that is not your own. It is called Haven. The name feels like a cruel joke, a constant reminder of a peace you have never known. Your sky is not empty. It is dominated by the geometric perfection of the Citadel, a star-born fortress belonging to the alien, Cathar. It hangs there, a predator in the clouds. Its shadow is a physical weight on your city. Your apartment is small. The window shows you a slice of that oppressive sky. You rise each morning and see their ship. You eat your nutrient paste and see its reflection. The Cathar have been here for 50 years. Their rule is quiet. It is absolute. They do not need to shout. Their presence is enough. You walk the clean, sterile streets of your district. Gray buildings rise like tombstones around you. Cathar architecture is severe. It is all sharp angles and emotionless surfaces. No art adorns these walls. No music plays in these streets. There is only the low hum of their technology and the rhythmic stomp of their patrols. A four-legged Cathar enforcer clanks past. Its metallic shell gleams a dull bronze. Its head, a fusion of insect and reptile, swivels slowly. It scans the faces in the crowd. No one meets its gaze. You lower your eyes. Everyone lowers their eyes. This is the first rule of survival. Do not be noticed. You work at the atmospheric processors. Your job is to monitor gauges and maintain systems. It is vital work. It keeps the colony's air breathable, yet it feels meaningless. You are a janitor for a cage. Your human supervisor, a man named Elias, has hollow eyes. He has worked this job for 30 years. He has forgotten what a free sky looks like. He does not speak much. Nobody does. Conversations are short. They are whispered. Laughter is a rare and precious thing, a sound that feels like a rebellion in itself. The Cathar do not forbid it. They simply disapprove, and their disapproval can have consequences. You once saw a man punished for singing too loudly. They took him away. He never came back. This is your life, a cycle of quiet work and quiet fear. You eat, you work, you sleep, all under the watchful gaze of the aliens you are forced to call overseers. They provide order. They provide stability. That is what they tell you on the public broadcast screens. The price for this order is your spirit, your culture, your future. Humanity arrived here on colony ships a century ago. They were filled with hope and dreams of a new beginning. Then the Cathar arrived. Their ships were larger. Their weapons were stronger. There was no war. There was only a surrender, a quiet, soul-crushing submission. Your grandparents told stories of Earth, of green fields and blue oceans, of a sky that was truly yours. Those stories now feel like myths, faded legends from a forgotten time. Your reality is gray concrete. It is the hum of alien machinery. It is the heavy silence of a people who have forgotten how to shout. You sometimes wonder if a soul can atrophy, if it can shrink from lack of use. Looking at the faces around you, you think it can. You return to your small apartment after your shift. The sun is setting. It casts long, distorted shadows from the Cathar structures. The Citadel in the sky catches the last light. It glows like a blood-red ember, a promise of the fire that warms them. But not you. You stare at it through your window. A familiar anger simmers in your chest, a useless, impotent rage. It is always there, a small pilot light in the darkness of your soul. Most days, you can ignore it. You can push it down. You can focus on the simple task of surviving until tomorrow. But some days the anger burns brighter. You clench your fists. You imagine a sky free of that star-born menace. You imagine the sound of human laughter echoing in the streets. You turn away from the window. The dream is dangerous. Hope is a dangerous thing on Haven. It is the one thing the Cathar cannot control. But it is also the one thing that can get you killed. You sit down to eat your evening meal. The same nutrient paste as this morning. It tastes of nothing. Just like your life. Tonight, however, the silence feels different. It feels heavier. It feels like the air before a storm. You do not know why. But a deep unease settles over you. A feeling that the fragile, miserable peace is about to break. The next morning, the summons comes. It appears on every public screen. It echoes from every street corner speaker. The voice of the Cathar is a low guttural vibration. It grates on human ears. It commands all colonists to gather in the Grand Plaza. Attendance is not optional. You feel a knot of dread tighten in your stomach. Mass gatherings are rare. They only happen when the overseers have a new decree, and their decrees are never good. You join the river of people flowing towards the city center. The mood is grim. Faces are tight with anxiety. Parents hold their children's hands a little too tightly. You see Elias from the processing plant. Even his hollow eyes seem darker today. He gives you a curt nod. No words are needed. You both know this is bad. The Grand Plaza is a vast expanse of polished stone. It was designed by the Cathar to dwarf any crowd, to make you feel small and insignificant. And it works. Thousands of you stand shoulder to shoulder. All eyes are on the central spire. The spire where the local Cathar administrator, the prefect, will appear. You look up at the citadel. It seems to watch you. All of you. A holographic image shimmers into existence above the spire. It is the prefect, a towering Cathar in ornate silver armor. Its face is impassive. Its multiple eyes blink slowly out of sync. It surveys the silent crowd for a long moment. Then, it speaks. The grating voice washes over you. People of Haven, it begins. Your colony has been a model of compliance. You have served the Cathar Empire well. You scoff internally. Served. Like we are pets. The prefect continues. The Empire's needs are great. Our expansion requires new resources, new strength. A collective breath is held across the plaza. You can feel the tension as a physical thing. Haven has been chosen to provide a special tribute, a sign of your unending loyalty. The prefect pauses. The silence stretches. It is a calculated, cruel pause. Then the hammer falls. Effective immediately, each family unit will surrender its firstborn child to the Empire's service. The words hang in the air. They are poison. They are a death sentence. A wave of sound ripples through the crowd. Not a shout, but a gasp. A collective intake of breath. The sound of thousands of hearts breaking at once. The voice continues, oblivious to the shock. The children will be taken into our care. They will be raised to serve the Empire. It is a great honor, a noble purpose. Honor. The word is a vile insult. You look around at the faces. Disbelief is turning to horror. Horror is turning to anguish. A woman near you collapses, her silent scream lost in the stunned silence of the crowd. Your own mind reels. Firstborn children. Your sister, she has a son, little Leo. He is 5 years old. He has a bright, infectious laugh. You picture his face. You picture the Cathar taking him. The thought is a physical blow. The simmering anger you have held in check for years, it is no longer simmering. It is a raging inferno. This is not a tax. This is not a new regulation. This is the amputation of your future. The prefect's image drones on about logistics, about schedules for collection, about the penalties for non-compliance. But you are not listening anymore. You are watching the crowd. You are watching the spark of defiance begin to catch. The averted eyes are now lifting. They are no longer filled with fear. They are filled with fire. The Cathar have ruled through quiet intimidation. They have maintained a fragile peace. With one command, they have broken it forever. They have finally asked for more than you are willing to give. The holographic prefect finishes its decree. It holds for a moment. Its multifaceted eyes seem to look right through you, as if it knows the storm it has unleashed. Then, the image vanishes. The plaza is left in a stunned, ringing silence. No one moves. No one speaks. The shock is too deep, the pain too raw. Then, a single voice breaks the stillness. No, it is not a shout. It is a clear, firm statement. It cuts through the silence like a knife. Every head turns towards the sound. An old woman has stepped forward from the crowd. It is Alara. She was a teacher before the Cathar came. She taught history. She remembers a time of freedom. She stands alone in the open space, small and frail against the massive Cathar architecture. But her voice is strong. We will not give you our children. She says it again, louder this time. Her voice echoes across the stone. You have taken our world. You have taken our freedom. You will not take our future. A murmur sweeps through the crowd, a sound of agreement, a sound of awakening. Two Cathar enforcers move towards her. Their metallic legs clank on the pavement. The sound is menacing. They are a blur of bronze and weaponry. Alara does not flinch. She stands her ground. She looks not at the enforcers, but up at the silent sky, as if addressing the citadel itself. We are not livestock. We are human beings, and we are done being afraid. Her words are a spark landing in a field of dry tinder. The crowd's murmur grows louder. Anger starts to find its voice. Someone shouts, "She's right." Another yells, "No more." The fear that has paralyzed your colony for 50 years is cracking. It is shattering in real time, all because one old woman dared to speak the truth. The enforcers reach her. They do not speak. They do not hesitate. One raises its weapon. It is a sleek, black rifle. A soft hum fills the air. A beam of pure energy, a blinding crimson light, erupts from the barrel. It strikes Alara in the chest. There is no sound from her. She simply dissolves. One moment she is there, a symbol of defiance. The next, a cloud of shimmering dust that settles on the gray stone. The plaza falls silent again. But this is a different silence. It is not the silence of shock. It is the silence of pure, undiluted rage. The Cathar have made their point. Defiance will be erased. But they have made a terrible miscalculation. They thought a public execution would restore fear. Instead, it has ignited a fire. You look at the spot where Alara stood. Her sacrifice will not be in vain. You feel a resolve hardening within you. Something has to be done. The whispers must become a roar. You did not stay in the plaza. No one did. The crowd dispersed not in fear, but in a seething, silent fury. You walked home through streets that now felt different. The gray buildings seemed like prison walls. The hum of Cathar tech sounded like a threat. The shadow of the citadel was no longer just oppressive. It was a target. That night, you do not sleep. You sit in the dark of your apartment. The image of Alara turning to dust is burned into your mind. Her last words echo in your thoughts. We are done being afraid. You make a decision. You will not let her sacrifice be for nothing. You will not let them take Leo. You will fight back. But you cannot do it alone. You send a single, coded message on a secure, low-tech channel. An old network the Cathar deemed too primitive to monitor. The message is simple. The workshop. Midnight. The pipes are broken. It is a phrase you and your friends came up with years ago. A code for an emergency that you hoped you would never have to use. You send it to 3 people. The only 3 people you would trust with your life. The workshop is deep in the underbelly of the city. A forgotten maintenance sector from before the Cathar came. You navigate the dark, damp tunnels by memory. The air is thick with the smell of rust and decay. This is the real haven, the part the overseers ignore. You reach a heavy steel door and give a specific knock. 3 quick taps, a pause, then 2 more. The door groans open. Inside, the workshop is lit by a single bare bulb. It is cluttered with old tools and salvaged machine parts. Kyle is already there. He is a genius engineer, a man who can make a fusion coil out of scrap metal and sheer stubbornness. He is large and gruff, with grease permanently under his fingernails. "I got your message," he says, his voice a low rumble. The pipes are broken indeed. Soon after, Maya arrives. She is a pilot, or she was supposed to be. Her family flew the old cargo shuttles between the surface and the orbital stations. The Cathar grounded all human pilots. Now she runs courier jobs on a beat-up gravity sled. She's small and wiry, with restless energy and eyes that miss nothing. "This is it, isn't it?" she asks, her voice tight. The line has been crossed. The last to arrive is Ben. He is a tech specialist. He works in the Central Archives, managing data for the Cathar. He is nervous by nature, always looking over his shoulder. But he is the best slicer you know. He can navigate firewalls and break encryption like no one else. "They're already creating lists," he whispers, his face pale. "Lists of the firstborn, by district, by family." The 4 of you stand in the secret workshop. The air is thick with unspoken fear and a desperate, rising hope. You are the one who called them. You are the one who has to lead. "Alara showed us the way," you begin, your voice steady. "She showed us that we have to stop being afraid. But defiance in the plaza gets you killed. We have to be smarter. We have to hit them where they don't expect it." Kyle crosses his massive arms. "Hit them with what? We have power tools and harsh language." A little bit of his usual dark humor. It does not lift the mood. Maya paces back and forth. "We need to get off this rock. We need to get the children away. We need a ship." Ben shakes his head. "Impossible. The spaceport is a fortress, and all human ships were dismantled decades ago. The Cathar control everything that flies." You look at him. "Not everything," you say. Your voice drops. "You work in the archives, Ben. You see the old records, the pre-Cathar manifests." Ben's eyes widen as he understands. "You can't be serious. You're talking about the Ghost Fleet." The Ghost Fleet was what colonists called the mothballed ships, the original colony vessels that were too old for the Cathar to bother scrapping. They were towed to a graveyard orbit, left to rot in a high-orbit shipyard. "They're just derelicts," Ben stammers. "Hulks. They haven't been powered on in 50 years. "One of them might be viable," Cale says, his engineer's mind already turning. "The Stardust. It was the last ship to be decommissioned. It had a new generation reactor core. The Cathar might have overlooked it. They are arrogant. They don't value old technology." You nod. "That's our target. We're not going to fight their fleet. We're going to steal a forgotten piece of our own history. And we are going to run." The plan forms in the dim light of the workshop. It is desperate. It is insane. But it is a plan. Ben will slice into the shipyard's security network. He will create a blind spot for a maintenance shuttle. Maya will fly that shuttle. She will get you to the orbital graveyard. Kyle will assess the stardust. He will figure out how to bring its ancient heart back to life. And you? You will lead the boarding team. You will secure the ship. It's a heist, a crazy, impossible orbital heist. Even if we get the ship, Maya says, stopping her pacing. How do we get the families on board? How do we get Leo? You look at her. We don't, not yet. The words taste like ash. This is stage one. We secure the ship. We get it working. We prove it can be done. Then we come back. But first, we need our vessel, our ark. The plan is set. You look at the faces of your friends. The fear is still there. But now, it is mixed with something else. A dangerous, thrilling resolve. The whispers in the dark have become a plan of action. The first step is the hardest. Getting off the ground. The orbital shipyard, a place called High Anchor, is a restricted zone. You need a way up. Maya is the key. She knows the shuttle schedules, the maintenance routes, the blind spots in the traffic control patterns. For 2 days you plan. Ben works tirelessly from a hidden terminal. He maps the shipyard's security network. He finds a weakness, a diagnostic cycle that briefly lowers the energy fence around Docking Bay 7. It's a window, he says, his eyes red from lack of sleep. A very small window. I can trigger the cycle. But it will only last for 90 seconds, and it will create an alert. A low-level one, but someone will see it. Maya looks at the schematics. 90 seconds is enough. I can get a maintenance shuttle through that gap, if I time it perfectly. Her knuckles are white. The shuttle is your next problem. They are all accounted for. Taking one would trigger an immediate alarm. Kyle has the answer. He gestures to a pile of salvage parts in the workshop. We don't steal a shuttle. We build one. A scrapper. Ugly as sin, but it will fly. For the next 48 hours, the workshop is a blur of activity. Kyle is a force of nature. He turns scrap metal and scavenged components into a small, functional craft. It has no comforts. Just a cockpit, a small cargo bay, and an oversized engine Cale borrowed from a cargo lifter. He called it a work of art. It looked like a dumpster with ambition. The night of the heist arrives. The air in the workshop is electric with tension. You are a team of 4. A mechanic, a pilot, a slicer, and you. You are not soldiers. You are ordinary people pushed to an extraordinary act. You climb into the scrapper's cramped cargo bay with Kyle. Maya is in the cockpit. Ben is miles away, at his hidden terminal, ready to be your ghost in the machine. Ready? Maya's voice crackles over the comms. Cale grunts an affirmative. You take a deep breath. Let's go. The scrapper lurches upwards. It rises silently through a forgotten ventilation shaft. It emerges into the night sky of Haven. Below, the city is a grid of muted lights. Above, the Cathar Citadel hangs like a malevolent moon. And beyond that, the stars. Your destination. Maya is a phenomenal pilot. She weaves the ugly shuttle through designated flight corridors. She makes it look like just another piece of junk on a disposal run. Your stomach churns with every near miss, every passing Cathar patrol drone. Ben's voice comes over the comm. Approaching High Anchor. Get ready. I'm triggering the diagnostic cycle in 3, 2, 1, now. You look at the timer on your wrist. 90 seconds. Maya pushes the scrapper forward. The orbital shipyard looms ahead, a sprawling skeleton of gantries and docking arms. It is dark, silent, a true graveyard. I see the gap, Maya says, her voice strained. It's small. The scrapper dives. The metal groans in protest. You brace for impact. You clear the energy fence with inches to spare. You are inside. 70 seconds left, Ben warns. Maya guides the ship towards a dark docking arm, the one that leads to the decommissioned wing. Docking clamps engaged, she whispers. We're here. The scrapper settles against the station with a soft clang. Fence is back online, Ben says. And they've logged the anomaly. A security team will be there in 10 minutes, maybe less. No time to waste. You and Kale cycle the airlock. The door opens onto a dark, silent corridor. The air is stale. The gravity is low. This way, you say, leading the way with a mag light. You have memorized the schematics Ben provided. You run through deserted hallways. Emergency lights flicker eerily. This part of the station has been abandoned for decades. It feels haunted. Haunted by the ghosts of human ambition. You reach a massive viewport, and there it is. The Ghost Fleet. A dozen massive, old colony ships. They float silently in the void. Their hulls are scarred and pitted. Which one is the Stardust? Kale asks, his voice filled with awe. You point to a ship at the far end of the formation. It is less damaged than the others. Its lines are sleeker. That one. You have to cross an exposed gantry to reach it. A long, narrow bridge with nothing but the star-filled void below. Security patrol is sweeping the lower levels. Ben's voice crackles. They are moving faster than I thought. You have 5 minutes, tops. You start running. Your mag boots clang on the metal walkway. The view is terrifying and beautiful. You are a tiny figure running on a thread across the universe. You reach the outer hull of the Stardust. The airlock is an ancient mechanical wheel. Kale produces a massive wrench. He puts his shoulder into it. The wheel groans in protest. It resists. Come on, you old beast, he mutters, straining. They're on the gantry, Ben yells. You see lights at the far end of the walkway. Cathar enforcers. They have spotted you. The wheel finally gives way with a loud crack. The outer door swings open. Get inside, you yell. You and Kale dive through the opening. Maya is right behind you. You turn to help Ben, who was supposed to be following you. But he is not there. You look back at the gantry. Ben is standing by the controls for the access bridge. He has a pained look on his face. I'm sorry. His voice comes over the comm. Their network is adapting. I can't keep them out from a distance anymore. I have to lock them out from here. Ben, no! You scream. He gives you a sad smile. Get the ship running. Get our people out. Make it count. He slams his hand on a large red button. The gantry connecting the Stardust to the station retracts. The Cathar patrol is trapped on the other side. They open fire. Energy bolts sizzle through the vacuum, impacting harmlessly against the Stardust's hull. Ben does not try to run. He just stands there. He bought you time. The most precious resource in the universe. A single clean shot from a Cathar rifle hits the control panel he is standing at. It explodes in a silent flash of light. Ben is gone. The cargo bay door slides shut, plunging you into darkness. You have the ship. But the cost is already unbearable. The escape has just begun, and you have already lost a dear friend.